and that is our Omicron storm, our winter surge that we kept talking about it. And I think the winter snow clouds of Omicron are starting to part. That is a very good sign. Our statewide cases went down about 13,592 to be exact. And that is down from January 7th, not that long ago. Look how high it was, 90,000 cases. Long Island still has about 1,700 new cases yesterday, so we're keeping an eye on those numbers as well. But that is the trend we've been waiting for. It is arriving, and I could not be happier to report this news. Our 7-day average is going down as well. Statewide, it's about 6.15%. Long Island a little bit higher than the statewide average, about a 7.4. But overall, again, this continues to drop as well, our positivity rate. We've always watched our hospitalizations, and luckily those are dropping from our high of 12,600 people hospitalized at the same time, and what a stress that put on our hospitals throughout this state. And yesterday we were down to 8,100, so we've dropped significantly, more than 2,800 over the past week. But this is all a lagging indicator. We talk about infection start, you see the numbers spike there. People get sick, then hospitalizations, and sadly, we still see far too many deaths. And yesterday we lost 171 fellow New Yorkers because of this pandemic, and I want to make sure that we're remembering them, but also that is a reminder to take this seriously until we are clearly out of this storm. And that is why, as we talk about this, we didn't know at the time when we put in our mask or vaccine requirement to protect people as this Omicron surge was spiking and it was spiraling out of control in the month of December. We could not have foreseen what January and February look like. We still don't know much beyond where we are right now, but again, the trend is much more positive, and that is why I want to talk about the fact that we'll have a temporary extension of our business mask or vaccine policy, and that has been a critical tool in driving those numbers down. They could be even more out of control, but we're going to continue doing this not by month, not by 3 months. We're going to do it every 2 weeks now, so we can be ready to suspend, give businesses the notice they've been waiting for. But again, I want to thank all the businesses and the people who followed these policies. You are the reason our state is going to come out of this far sooner than other states. The numbers are still going up in other states, and we've been smart here. I thank the people, I thank the counties for their partnership. So we'll be extending that just through February 10th. Again, probably a couple days before that, we'll be evaluating, but if we continue on this rapid trend downward, we'll be in a good place. If it levels off or something else happens, I need that flexibility, and I'm going to continue to reserve that, but also people are waiting to hear when some of these restrictions can be lifted, and so we're going to continue with our flexibility. As we know, the school masking policy remains in effect, despite the fact that there was a little blip, but we are back on track legally, and I want to thank our Attorney General, Letitia James, and her incredible team for understanding the urgency of us appealing a decision that came forth based on factors that we don't agree with. We happen to think that the Commissioner of Health and the Department of Health have a responsibility to protect public health. That is why they do what they do, and we're going to continue to defend that in court. So the appellate decision, the second department, sided with us and let common sense prevail. So now we are back into ensuring that these are in place again for now. And the only reason we have this is because this is how we can keep our schools open. When our schools are open and kids are safe there, moms and dads can get back to work. We can start that path to being normal, and there'll come a time we can talk about lifting this as well. We're just not there yet. We're going to continue keeping people safe and fighting to protect all New Yorkers. So just want to give those notices of what the lay of the land here is in the state of New York. And also, let's continue to wear the masks, the ones that really make a difference, the N95s. And President Biden is sending about 400 million, that's an extraordinary number, making those available. So they're free. You can get 3 of them at a time, and they're going to be available at every place, the retail pharmacies and stores where they're offering vaccinations right now here in the state. So if you're looking for a place to get your free, heavy-duty, very efficient mask, go to vaccines.gov, and it'll show you where to get those. And I want to thank President Biden for making those available to New Yorkers. So check on that. But again, if I saw higher vaccination rates as well, I would sleep better at night. But our children and many people who are still vulnerable, all they have to do is show up, roll up their sleeve, and get that shot, get the booster, and they're ready to roll, and they can handle whatever comes next. As we've seen, people who are vaxxed and boosted did not end up in the hospitals with Omicron. They may have had symptoms, stayed home for the 5 days if they tested positive, but our hospitalizations are still vast majority are people who are unvaccinated, and our kids are going to be sick if we don't get them vaccinated, so let's make sure that that happens as well. Let's give all the kids, the protection they need to be able to stay in school and stay safe. So that is what I wanted to offer in terms of our forecast for the storm, our forecast for COVID. One's looking rather treacherous, one's improving, so at some point we'll say the storms are gone in both fronts, and I look forward to that day very much. Again, I want to thank everybody who's here. These men and women who look nice and warm and comfortable right now, they're willing to go out there. They'll be on the streets. Please protect their safety as well. What they do simply for you. So let's give them the regard that they do. And with that, I'll take any questions, and then otherwise we'll head back to the city and get ready for the storm.
You said the cavalry is here. That's clear. In spite of that fact, what's your greatest concern as we head into this storm in the next, say, 36 hours?
People getting stranded on roads. Absolutely, people getting stranded on roads. The snow will fall. I mean, I lived in a house at one time when the snow piled up over the course of 2 days, 7 feet. That's taller than I am. So, okay, up here, we could not open our back door, could not get food, could not get water, could not get heat. But I knew I was safer in that home than I was out on the highways where there was zero visibility. That is dangerous. And for people who are not as accustomed, they think, well, I'll just run to the store. I'll just run out. I'm just going to pick my kids. My kids want to play with their friends. Let me just take them over. Please don't make that calculation. Just stay home. Stock up on your food. Stock up on gas. Stock up on your subscription to Netflix. I can make some great recommendations. I had to do a lot of binging myself over the years. So just stay home. That is what I don't want to see. I don't want to see Long Island or New York State on the national news where everybody's jammed up on a highway, stranded for hours, kids are crying, people are desperate. That happened in Virginia, down where my family lived just a few weeks ago. That's a scenario that we're trying to prevent here. That's my nightmare. Yes?
Off topic, okay?
Sorry?
Off topic, okay?
Oh, who asked on topic now? Who has a storm question?
How much of a concern are the frigid temperatures in terms of both safety and also the cleanup?
Yeah, and when you talk about frigid temperatures, also what happens is frozen power lines, they come down. Do not touch a line. Do not try to remove it yourself. That is extremely dangerous. We have experts who know how to deal with that. But the freezing temperatures, particularly for people who are housing insecure, are homeless. And I'm glad the county executive mentioned this. These are people who need to be in shelter, starting to go there now. And any help that the county needs to make sure that those shelters are fully staffed, that they have the blankets, they have the food, the water will be there for them as well. So yes, it's fun to dress up warm and play in the snow, but at some point, the wind chills, not just the actual temperature, but you need to calculate the outdoor temperature with the wind, and that gives you the actual real feel on your skin. And there'll be times when it's just too cold to even let your kids go out and play. Keep them warm inside. This is only going to be a weekend. We anticipate getting back to normal after cleanup on Monday. It's not going to be one of those storms that lingers for days and days, which I've experienced before. So that's the good news right now, unless our weather changing at all? Okay. I'm willing to be corrected on that one, but right now it looks like it is a weekend event. You know, there's still football games this week, and I stopped watching last week. So if you want to watch those other teams, I don't really care right now. It's a little hard to talk about. So stay home, watch some football. Watch some Netflix. Make some apple pies. Make some chicken chili while you watch the games. What I usually do. So just stay home. I'm not making light of it. This is deadly serious, but it doesn't have to be. That's why there's this warning. That's why we're standing here, and that's why I know the mayor's doing his own press conference. We talk about these. We're working with our local partners, so there's no reason why this has to be bad. We're home. They do their jobs on the roads. We're safe, and we talk about this in the past 10 starting Monday. That's what my hope is.
How bad will it start tonight? When will it start being like 1 to 3 inches?
What is our expectation on exactly when that starts?
Yeah, we expect the heaviest snow to start. We expect that to start between 11 p.m. and 12 a.m. The sort of most intense bands would hit Suffolk. So we expect to see up to 2 inches of snow an hour in some of the hours over the sort of early Saturday morning. I wouldn't be surprised if we even saw 3 inches an hour out in eastern Suffolk.
3 inches an hour is a lot. Doesn't like that's coming down sustained every hour. That is quick. That's very challenging for the plows because they'll go do a route, make it all disappear. They turn around by the time they're done, hour and a half, it's all back again. So that is what we're doing. They're out there salting the roads as well. So stay out of their way. Stay out of their way. Any other on topic?
Going on with stranded cars being a potential concern for you, what is the protocols to shut down some of the parkways and the LI?
We're talking about how we're going to shut them down. And also, even before you shut them down, we're planning to reduce speeds on them. That's the first step, is reducing speeds. But what goes into our analysis on shutting down? I'll ask the expert, our commissioner of DOT.
So the bottom line is that we continually assess the snowfall rate, how quickly we're able to clear the roads, the conditions, the temperature, etc. We work with our partners, local partners here, but we're going to be constantly assessing the condition of the roadways and make the call as soon as we need to make sure that the roads stay open as long as they can, so long as they're safe.
Also ice. We didn't talk about ice. Icy roads are treacherous, and you cannot see the ice under the snow, and that is when someone's going, even a speed limit, they can end up in a ditch. And in more rural areas, they may not be found for some time if they go off in the dark into a ditch when there's heavy snow coming down. That is my fear as well. So people need to be really smart about this travel, because you just don't know the conditions of the road. Take it from me. I've traveled more snow and ice covered roads than any elected official in this state, and it is not a fun experience. I want to make sure everyone from Long Island up to New York City, Mid-Hudson area that are exposed right now are safe. So,
Quick question.
Just on a lighter note, Governor, you keep mentioning Netflix, and you have this week, so can you give us your top two?
I like Billions. I'm watching Billions these days. I always like Mrs. Maisel. I'm trying to wait for that one to start up. I don't know. I won't tell you some of those other ones. I think I'll clean them up a little bit. No, just kidding. But also, it's fun experience. I never had time my entire life to sit and watch like over a series. So my 30-something-year-old kids are always recommending shows, so I'll take their recommendations as well. But and I like Succession. They're kind of nasty to each other, but it's good. It's kind of entertaining. Yeah.
Just changing gears for a moment, what were your feelings today hearing Officer Rivera's wife, widow, speak about how the criminal justice system has failed her? And what will be your message to Manhattan DA Bragg when you meet with him?
First of all, it's heartbreaking to see the riveting pain that young widow was experiencing. It literally brought me to tears as I was sitting there. And it's still hard to think about what that young woman was going through, her whole life ahead of her, and to lose her sweetheart who had a crush on her since they were just in grade school. So her pain was real. It was searing to hear, and it's going to be enduring for a long time. And we're just going to keep her in our prayers. But I also understand we need to do more to protect public safety. We need alignment with our men and women in uniform, because they're out there putting their lives on the line to keep us safe. And yes, we have to protect people's rights and ensure there's fairness and justice in the criminal justice system, and there's been shortcomings, and we need to address them, but these are not mutually exclusive objectives. We have to work with our law enforcement, give them the respect, the resources they need, and so I'll be having a conversation about the desire, my desire to achieve both those objectives simultaneously, because I believe they can occur. All right, thank you for coming, everybody. Appreciate it.